Hello. Are you celebrating Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day today? You might see them as the same thing, but when you look at their histories, they do have very different origins. Mother's Day is an American institution devised in the early 20th century by an American activist called Anna Jarvis. She chose the second Sunday in May to promote the honouring of all mothers. It's a day for offspring to show appreciation of all that mothers do for them. As Mother's Day spread throughout the world, the commercialisation increased, and as a protest against this, Anna Jarvis spent her last years trying to abolish it. But as you will have noticed if you've been near a supermarket, a florist or a card shop, her protests were in vain. And I know I'll be disappointed if I don't get something chocolatey from at least one of my children, although I'm not sure if there'll be much honouring. So Mother's Day is a secular, monetised celebration. And in the USA, Mother's Day continues on the second Sunday in May, as it has for the last century. But in the UK, it falls on a different Sunday each year. That's because it's intimately linked to our movable Easter Day. And whilst it's generally labelled Mother's Day, its origins in the Christian festival of Lent mean that it should be rightly called Mothering Sunday, and it always falls on the fourth Sunday of Lent. Mothering Sunday long predated Mother's Day and celebrated a very different mother. Its origins on that fourth Sunday of Lent appear to be as far back as the Middle Ages. Now, Lent is not generally seen as a celebratory season, and certainly back then it would have been a time of contemplation and denial. Halfway through this penitential season, Mothering Sunday had a very particular purpose. It was a day given over to visiting the church in which you had been baptised, the church that began your life as a Christian, your mother church. What a beautiful analogy, the church where you were reborn, not just a child of a flesh and blood mother, but a child of God by water and by spirit, adopted into that mother church. A child is the most wonderful gift from God, and in baptism the parents hand back that child to him. And for those who were in service away from their families, this was a chance to visit them too, to spend just one day a year with their birth mother, and it became a brief respite from the privations of Lent. In modern times, in the wider population and with the advent of Mother's Day, the emphasis has moved very much towards the family day, which many of you will be quite rightly celebrating today, with a focus on the women in the family and all they do. But in the church, it's also a special opportunity to revisit your own baptism and the promises made by you or on your behalf, a very suitable thing to be doing halfway through Lent. Just as our mothers need to be reminded of their importance to us by regular visits to ensure a continual emotional connection, so it's vital to ensure that we pay the same respect to whatever church family we call mother. To regularly revisit our baptism and to take emotional and spiritual support from it. The role of mother has become far more complicated in our 21st century society. The have-it-all mum has pressure to be a substantial earner, as well as also quite often having the role of pastoral parent. There's so many expectations of mothers today, aren't there? And similarly, the roles of the mother church have also evolved over time, and the expectations placed upon our churches in today's society may feel overwhelming. Perhaps this is a good day to remind mothers and those who make up mother churches that however tough times may be, there is always a father who is willing to shoulder the burden if they will only ask through his son Jesus. Thank you.